Oh, it's one of the best shows I've ever seen. I don't come to the theatre much, but when I do come out, it's for something special. And believe me, this is something special. I'll even come again.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, it was so good, I'd recommend it to anybody, even if you don't know anything about Shakespeare. Excellent.
Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It's excellent stuff. It's worth coming to see.
They actually staged that battle with one person, and it was just as though you were there.
This is Prince Hal. Slightly more static than our version, but come to the world of Shakespeare and find out for yourself. Directorially, this Henry V Lion of England takes a tremendous amount of energy because you've got one director and one actor who's got to sustain the pace and enthusiasm for about an hour and a half. What we're trying to do is, with our chorus, the way that I've written it, is to take a modern emotion and also to take slightly more modern words. The structure of the words is something that is very interesting. But whereas Shakespeare's chorus starts with "Oh, for the muse of fire," our chorus starts with "Imagine. Forget the relative problems of your current existence. Pull down these four walls and let your mind roam free." It's that kind of, it's still poetry, but it's an accessible poetry. And so through the one man does 12 parts, so he actually has to emotionally take on a different character and then move on to another character. And it's proved to be a successful formula. It's proved to work very well, and the critics have liked it, and audiences have come back again and again. We've done a lot of tourists enjoy it as well because it's an introduction on one hand to Shakespeare, and the purists love it because it's a different version of a famous play.
Tennis balls. We are glad the Dauphin is so pleasant with us. His presence and your pains we thank you for.
Yeah, so I met Nick Hennegan whilst I was producing Richard Dreyfuss's directorial debut of Hamlet. Richard Dreyfuss, particularly in that production, wanted to do something very different with Hamlet. He wanted a primitive Viking Hamlet. And there were a lot of critics about that, a lot of eyebrows raised. Why can't you do Shakespeare, Hamlet, the greatest of all Shakespeare plays, in a particular way? And his response to that was that there are no Shakespeare police, that you attempt things with Shakespeare. The whole timeless quality of Shakespeare is that it allows for a vast array of different interpretations. And in the same way, the exciting thing about this particular one-man version of Henry V is that you can take risks with a masterpiece, take risks with a play that has been around for hundreds of years, and in the process, something new, refreshing and exciting is exposed, and at the same time, the essential essence of the play, that essence of Shakespeare, comes through as strong as ever and as fresh as ever before.
Once more onto the breach, dear friends, once more! Or close them all up with our English dead! In peacetime, nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility, but when the sound of war blasts in our ears, then imitate the actions of a tiger, stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard-favoured rage, then lend the eye a terrible aspect. Now set the teeth and stretch the nostrils wide, hold hard the breath, and bend up every spirit to its full height. On, you noblest English!
The idea of writing a one-man Henry V was a little bit radical, and one or two people who I phoned up, there's Rob who does the sound and the music for us, it was a bit radical. But most people had to check that I wasn't drunk.
When Hennegan first approached me to do music for a one-man Henry V, I thought that the bloke must be totally crazy. I've just seen Kenneth Branagh and the Olivier films, which had a cast of thousands, and he was hoping to do it with one person. And then again, I knew Nick Hennegan and thought, it just might work. My background is strictly non-theatrical. Most of my family have been involved in jazz at some stage of their lives, and I've been involved in bands and composing and arranging for several years, and never really experienced live theatre before. My only real exposure to drama has been via television and film, and I use music to underpin the action. And this is how I thought I'd approach Henry V. Henry V is more of an experience than a straight play, and I actually enjoy watching the audience's reactions as we move them from scene to scene. There's only one way that they'll actually find out how we achieve the battles, and that's to come and see the show. Prepare to be amazed.
The Battle of Agincourt was not a battle that the British wanted to fight, or the English I should say, it wasn't the British then. It wasn't a battle the English wanted to fight. They were destroyed, really. They were completely ruined by a bad case of dysentery that went through the whole army. And they were on their way back to Calais. They were on their way back home, in fact, to England. But the French thought, perhaps quite rightly, they thought, well, the English are so weak, we'll attack now. And so as the English were heading towards the French coast to go home, the French amassed this huge army and blocked their way. And they blocked their way in a little village known as Agincourt.
And gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhood's chief, whiles any speaks that fought with us upon St. Crispin's day.